when COVID happened and they put us on the pandemic, I started getting phone calls. What is the one exercise that I need to know that will build my immune system? So I already knew which one it was, but I also knew that exercise was kind of difficult to master. So then I said, okay, what can I do to get them to the point where they could actually do this particular exercise that would literally move the energy and build the immune system, particularly the lymphatic system. So in the set of Qigong exercises, this one is the most difficult. So the one that you want, that's the most difficult, how can I start you off with the most difficult one? So therefore, I have to start you off with the easiest one. So before I explain the how, we're gonna do the why. So, back up one. Okay, so Qigong increases the flow of cerebrospinal fluid and lymphatic fluid. So if it increases the flow, that means that is the lymphatic system. So how your immune system works is through your lymphatic system. And I have a rule that the latecomers have to sit in the front, but the front is already taken. So next one. Okay. So the lymphatic system, I'm going to stand over here. This is the lymphatic system in the back. Then we have the 5 energy flows, and then we have the circulatory system. So that means that these systems are all superimposed on one another. That means the lymphatic system does not work alone. It only works through the 5 energy flows, which is the medical Qigong, and the circulatory system. So what is the circulatory system? I think you know that it's the heart, but the heart can't work without the lungs. So when we say circulation, how does the blood get from the heart to the feet, and how does it get to the brain? Okay, so how do we do that? Walking, climbing the stairs, running uphill, and Qigong meridian exercise. Next slide. So we're going to do a comparison of the lymphatic system to the immune system because everyone thinks that they're separate. So the lymphatic system works through a network of vessels, which we're going to go over in a minute. But the immune system is the organs which provide resistance to infections and toxins. The lymphatic system is a component of the immune system and defends the body against pathogens. So how does that happen? That happens because you have specialized types of white blood cells that live in the lymphatic system that kill bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. So the lymphatic system includes the lymph nodes, the vessels, the thymus, the spleen, the tonsils, and the appendix. So all that is part of the lymphatic system, and it's connected to the circulatory system. So the immune system is a complete functional system, but it's connected to the endocrine and the nervous system. Okay, next slide. So the lymphatic system is in the brain, but up until 2019, Western medicine did not know the lymph system was in the brain. They thought it ended right there. So University of Virginia Medical School was doing research on the brain, and they found lymphocytes in the brain, particularly in the meninges. And they're like, wow, we never saw that before. We thought that was part of the digestive system. You have heard of the gut-brain axis, right? Well, in 2019, yeah, they didn't know. Okay, next slide. Now, this is the lymphatic system, and you can see this is the ear. This is the ear, and you see it goes up into the brain. Now, what happens at night is the lymph system cools the brain. It reduces inflammation. And what happens if you stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're wide awake and you're watching YouTube videos or you're playing gambling games? Guess what? Your brain is engaged, creating inflammation and heat, so this can't work. Whoa. So how do you think that affects your immune system? Bingo. Okay. Next slide. So this is the meninges. Okay? So these are the T cells. Okay? These are the lymphocytes. This is cerebrospinal fluid. So the
very big, so we can see you instead there. Can you go sit there if you don't mind, please? Thank you. I'm sorry. We see over your back.
Okay, so we have virus, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. You can get a copy of this later.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, next slide. So if we did a spectrograph of the brain, you can literally see the lymphatic system in the brain. So this is the center. This goes right down the center of the brain. Wow. Isn't this amazing? And they didn't know this until 2019. And they cut my grandmother open. And I'm gonna trust them, and they don't even know how the lymphatic system works? Okay, next slide.
So did they nickname it the lymphatic?
Yes, they did. Exactly.
Once they found it?
So we have different kinds of lymph nodes, and I'm gonna go in a little more detail here. So we have the occipital, we have the mastoid, which is the jaw, we have the parotid, we have the buccal, we have the submental, we have the submandibular, then you have the jugulo-omohyoid, then you have the superficial cervical, and the deep cervical. Wow, that's a lot of lymph nodes. Okay, so guess what we're gonna do right now? I want everybody to look at me. I want you to turn your head to your left. And with your left hand, I want you to grab, I'm gonna do it again. Turn your head to your left. Okay, I'm sorry. And with your right hand, okay, I'm gonna do it again. Turn this way, okay. And now grab your neck, okay. I said left hand, left side.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
say which
yes.
side of the neck.
Like maybe someone could go next to you and you show
Yeah,
from there.
I got it. This
Okay,
way.
all right, so I said turn your head to the left and with your left hand. Did I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did, okay.
Then you said right.
Then you said right.
Yeah, because nobody was following my instructions. So turn your head to the left and with your left hand,
Reach the right side of your neck.
No.
reach the right side of your neck.
Together we do it.
There you go.
It takes a
You
village.
got it.
Yeah.
Now, this muscle right here, can everybody see this muscle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's called the sternocleidomastoid muscle, or the SCM for short. Now, I want you to put your thumb on the inside and these two fingers on the outside, and I want you to pluck your neck. Very good. Excellent. Oh, it's tight. Okay, now I want you to do this.
Can one of you go up so that our Zoomers can
Okay,
see?
come here.
Thank
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, stand here. Now, there you go. So I'm gonna do it for him. So when I grab here, that's the lymph node going into the brain. When I grab a little lower, that is the carotid artery. When I grab a little lower, that is the thyroid. And when I grab a little lower, that is the lymph that goes into the lungs. So lymph at the top, lymph at the bottom, carotid and thyroid. So when he plucks his neck now, yeah, put a little more. Yeah, there you go. Does that hurt? Is that a little tender?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now do the other side. Very good.
Nice.
Okay, so now I need to explain to you exactly what's going on. Now, out of the heart, there's something called the aorta, and there's something called the aortic arch. One part of the arch goes up into the carotid artery, okay? And the carotid artery supplies blood to the brain. Okay? So what happens if your neck is stiff?
Oh, no,
Blood to the brain.
Blood to the brain is reduced. What if you use your phone? What if you're using your computer? What if you're Ubering? Okay, all that creates stiff neck. Okay? How many people had stiff neck in college? How many people had stiff neck in high school? How many people have stiff neck right now? Okay, so you have a reduced flow of blood to the brain, point number one. Point number two, your thyroid function is reduced. And number three, lymphatic system to the brain and the lungs is also reduced. So this is the biohack that you must do for 20 seconds twice a day. Is that too much to ask?
No.
20 seconds twice a day? Okay, so he's gonna, the reason I want him to turn his head this way and use this hand, because if he uses this muscle, that's going to, the minute he lifts this arm, he's cutting off blood flow. So you have to use the opposite in order to make sure the blood goes up. Okay, so you can't do same side, because the minute you lift your arm, you're cutting off blood flow. So you have to do the opposite side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. 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 4, turn. Okay? Now, if you do that 8 times, that's 16 seconds times 4, what does that add up to? 1 minute. 64 times 4.
Yeah, 64.
I mean, yes, 64, that's a minute and 4 seconds. Okay? If you don't have a minute in the morning and a minute in the evening for yourself, I can't help you. I cannot help you.
You're right.
All right? So we're talking 1 minute, twice a day. Now, just show us again what you just did. Yeah, no.
no, no, no.
No.
Not
Because
even.
you're blocking the
You
blood.
can,
That's a short
you
line.
got it. You
That's a
have to
short
do
line.
because the minute you do this, you're cutting off the blood flow from the aorta.
Yes.
Now, here's something that you can do. Okay, you can have a seat. Okay. Okay. The back of the brain. Okay,
Yeah.
so the base of the skull is called the occipital ridge. So the muscle beneath the skull is called the suboccipital. Now you can use both hands. So now if you do this,
Friendly.
now that is just before you go to sleep,
Wow.
because that means more blood flow to your brain while you're sleeping. Now, how many people have heard of breathing exercises? Do you know the name of a breathing exercise?
No.
No. Do you know the name? Do you know the name of a breathing exercise? No, you do not. Okay.
Box breathing.
Box spring?
Box breathing. Pranayama.
Cohesive breathing, 4-7-8 breathing.
Breath of fire.
Okay, there you go, breath of fire. All right, now,
Good job.
what if
Thank you.
you were doing breathing exercises while you were sleeping? So how long should you do pranayama? How long should you do breath of fire? How long should you do 4-7-8?
3 times.
How long? How many minutes?
It's just a
Yeah, you don't know. So the point is, if you go to sleep, or when you go to sleep, what happens to your heart rate? What happens to your breathing rate?
Slow down.
And guess what you're doing the whole time you're sleeping?
Breathing exercise.
Breathing exercises. Bingo.
Bingo.
So you do your suboccipital massage, and then you go to sleep. Does that clean out your lymphatic system?
I'm gonna say yes.
Lie correctly.
Yes, if you lie correctly. Excellent answer. Now, if I'm sleeping on my side, I need a pillow to keep my head up straight. If I'm laying on my back and I have a pillow, okay, is that healthy? To have a pillow pushing your head forward?
No.
No, it's not. So what should you put under your neck if you're sleeping on your back?
You need a butterfly pillow.
A rolled up towel
Inside.
under your neck.
Okay.
So that opens up the chest
Right.
so you can get the full breath
Right.
for your breathing exercises. So if you lay correctly, you can clean the lymph in your brain.
Nice.
What about if you lay on your stomach with your head turned? No?
No good.
Wrong answer.
Left
No
side
good.
is good to sleep on the left.
The left side is better.
better.
Why is the sleeping on the left side
It helps the
better?
digestion, it helps a lot of, and organ digestion also.
Anybody else have an answer for the left side?
I know, but I don't remember.
That's the same side as the heart.
Heart.
That's right.
So if you lay on the right side, what's going to happen to the heart?
Working
Oh.
It's going to flop out of its
Yeah.
nest.
Exactly.
Not good. So you should not sleep on the right side. You should sleep
On the left
on
side.
the left side.
At least start the night on the left side.
What? Why don't we know this? Why wasn't this taught in hygiene class in middle school?
So they want people to be sick.
Right.
Okay. So whose job is it to teach you this now?
You.
You.
Moi? Okay. Now, this is the first biohack that I learned, and the first biohack I'm teaching you. I've got 18 of them. Whoa. I've got 18 biohacks. Now, when Caroline met me at a biohack conference, she called me for 3 months. 3 months she kept calling me. I want you to come. I want you to come. I'm like, nah, I teach biohacks. You've got equipment. And then finally I came and I was like, wow, really cool equipment. This is really cool. We could work something out. And I've been here a year, and I really appreciate her and the Biohack Lab family for insisting that I come here to share this information. Because if you don't know the why before the how, where's the motivation?
Right.
You gotta know the why before the how. Okay, next slide. So, go pluck yourself.
Oh, gosh.
I'm too old to sing, and I can't rap, but pluck your neck side to side.
Oh.
Cheek gone side to side. Now pluck your neck side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now pluck your thyroid side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now pluck your thyroid side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now thump your thymus side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now thump your thymus side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now poke your pancreas side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now poke your pancreas side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now drum your kidneys side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now drum your kidneys side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now pump your sacral bone side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now pump your sacral side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Make hammers at your fingertips. Now pump your pineal side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Now push your pineal side to side. Cheek gone side to side. Put your thumbs on your temples.
Side to side,
Pull apart your forehead.
side to side.
Now, Pull your pituitary side to side. Qigong side to side. Now pull your pituitary side to side. Qigong side to side. Now you just went to Qigong school so you could learn a healing tool. Asthma, allergies, diabetes, heart disease, Qigong meditation is the only medication that works just fine to heal your body, spirit, and mind.
You want to get inside.
You want to get inside. Yeah, you want to get in there.
Inside, side to side.
Okay, next slide. So that goes right into your brain. And this goes into your carotid. And this goes into your thyroid. And this goes into the lymph of the lung. Okay, next slide. Now, in your armpit are breast lymph nodes.
Right.
And they call it the axilla. That's a 50-cent word, which means armpit. Okay? Now, guess where this goes? Obviously, it goes into the breast tissue. So I have 2 children. I delivered both my babies.
Yay.
I cut the umbilical cord. I saved the placenta. Okay? Now, nursing was a thing that I didn't know enough about, but I found out while she was still pregnant that if you don't suck on the nipple of the mother before the baby is born, guess which creates sensitivity? So you have to desensitize the woman's breast before the baby is born, which means hubby has to suck the nibbles. That is what it is for. It is for breast milk. Because you open up all the ducts, so as the milk is produced, the passageway is clear. Now, 100 years ago, your grandmother beat the rugs. She washed clothes on a stone by the side of the river. She hung the clothes on a line or a tree branch. She hung the curtains. She took the curtains down in the summer and put up new curtains. And in the winter, she put up heavy curtains. Yes?
True that.
So your grandmother 100 years ago used her arms. Now,
There's a robot.
Exactly.
They're selling a robot to do all your house cleaning.
So there's no movement of a woman through the armpit, which means what?
It stagnates. doesn't it?
Stagnation into the breast tissue. And what's below the breast is the lungs. So if the collarbone, if there's lymph glands above and below the collarbone, guess what they're not getting done? Now, so in college, were you dancing in college? Yes, you were. And then when you got a good job and you went to work in corporate America and you would go to parties, guess what you would do? There was none of this, right? So after 35, you are not dancing, right? So you're, as a woman or a man, you're not using this part of your body. So the lymph system into the lungs don't get pushed. Okay? So, and it goes right down the center of the breastbone. Okay, next slide. Now, lymph node biopsy. So, you're 35, you're 45, there's a lump, there's a breast. Oh my God, there's a lump, I gotta go for mammogram. And what's the mammogram do? Smashes your breasts together. Now, guess what year mammograms started in the United States?
The year before breast cancer and all that.
1986. Guess what year mammograms were banned in Europe?
Oh, wait, 70.
1985.
Yeah.
So mammograms were banned in Europe in 1985. And they like, let's pivot. Let's go to the US. We'll run that BS over there.
Wow.
And that's when they started mammograms in the United States. After it was banned in Europe. Who knows this? Nobody, because we thought it was like new stuff. We didn't know it was old stuff. Okay, so they take the sentinel node and they do a biopsy. Radioactive tracer colored dye are injected into a breast surrounding the tumor. Is that what you want? Is that you want somebody to inject colored dye? Oh, there's a lump. What should I do, doctor? Please tell me. What should I do?
Inject
Oh,
radioactive
we're gonna
dye.
adjust some radioactive dye. Yeah. Okay. Just next slide. So these are the main. See this? This is the collarbone. Now you can do this to yourself. So the collarbone has a slight upward curve. Slight upward curve. So press along your own collarbone. Press along your own collarbone. Wherever there's a notch or a ridge, that's where the lymph gland is.
Right here.
Press along. Press along your own collarbone, and wherever there's a ridge or a notch, that's where the lymph gland is. Okay? And then go under and do the same thing underneath. Now, I have no tenderness, I have no swelling above or below my collarbone. Because I use my arm every day. I do Qigong every day. Okay? Am I being a little aggressive? Okay.
Follow what Qigong on YouTube. Follow Qigong on YouTube. That's right. You do all those movements.
Yeah, I'm sure. LoveQigong.com. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, we don't have to go into the details here because you don't have to memorize where they are. You just have to move through it. Okay. Inguinal lymph nodes, lumbar lymph nodes, systema lymph nodes, which is just below the breastbone. There's lymph nodes just below the breastbone. Now, any martial artists in the room? Okay, so what were you taught is the best place to punch somebody? Solar plexus! Bang! Guess where that is? Solar plexus.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, right there. That's the best place to punch somebody. So, 3 things happen. Number 1, it's going to knock the wind out of you. Number 2, it's the bottom of the heart and the top of the liver. The bottom of the heart, so find the bottom of your breastbone and go slightly to the left. That's the bottom of your heart. And now go slightly to the right. That's the top of your liver. Right? So if I'm standing in front of you and I just go straight shot to your solar plexus, heart, liver, lungs, and lymphatic system shuts down your immune system. How are you going to recover?
You can't. You gotta breathe.
You down. You are down. So why am I going to take this wild swing at your head? So take a swing at my head, and I'm going to go.
Exactly.
Okay? Training, 5 punches a second. Am I right? So now, this is called circular punch. And I can punch 5 punches per second. And I'm going to practice that and practice that and practice that. And when I see you're going to take a swing at me, what does that look like? Slow-mo. So I'm going to practice. So the minute I see somebody do this, I know what's coming. The minute I see that, I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit me right here. So I'm gonna move here and I'm gonna go.
Why would somebody hate you?
People come jealousy, envy, theft,
Comparing.
racial violence. Yes, you have to be prepared. You cannot prepare the inside unless you prepare the outside. Okay? So that's the first thing we learn in Taoism. The best defense is a good offense. We have somebody outside. Okay? So you have to have a good offense, okay, in order to have a good defense. So you have to be prepared, okay? And that is why, okay? We don't like violence, we don't invite violence, but you have to be prepared for violence. You have to be. And in today's world, who needs self-defense more than women? Who needs self-defense more than women? And a woman is more likely to get punched out by another drunk woman than a man.
Wow.
Because men generally respect other men, unless it's personal,
Yeah.
right? So if there's a victim of random violence, it's gonna be a woman. Okay? Next slide. So, the spleen controls the lymphatic system. Where's the spleen? What does the spleen do? I came here for a lecture on the lymphatic system. Where does the spleen come in? Okay? There's the spleen. Spleen's on the left side.
My stepbrother just had this taken out.
Ooh.
Stage 3 lymphoma.
Woo! Lymphoma.
Wow.
Okay, so we're not going to go into a whole disease process here, but the spleen controls all of this. All of that is controlled by the spleen.
The lymphatic system?
The lymphatic system, the entire lymphatic system controls all of that. And the thymus controls the white blood cells, and the thymus gland is right there. So these two talk to each other. Now, the white blood cells are manufactured in the bone marrow. And then they go to the thymus gland for weapons and armor. And then the white blood cells live in the lymphatic system. Uh-oh, there he is. Now, there's 5 kinds of white blood cells. One kind wraps around and smothers it. One shoots a poison dart in and explodes it. One shreds it. Okay? So each white blood cell does something different to bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites.
Sounds like weapons of mass destruction.
Sounds like sci-fi to me, but that's going to be my first movie. Okay, next slide. So, lymphatic cancer. Oh my God. That was your next question, right?
Okay, so is that where disease originates from?
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. The spleen controls the lymph system, and the lymph system protects you from disease. Then, yeah. So, lymphatic cancer. So you have melanoma cells inside the lymph nodes because the white blood cells are not doing their job. So, how does that happen? Fried foods. What's the #1 snack food in America? French fries. Second one. Potato chips. Third one.
Chicken.
Fried chicken.
Hot sauce.
Uh-oh, he's in the right place. How do you cook burgers? They're fried. How do you cook eggs? They're fried. Fried, fried, fried. So, what does all that mean? When you heat the oil, it changes the molecular structure of the oil so it cannot feed the white blood cells. And if the white blood cells don't get enough nutrients, dun dun dun, melanoma.
So no more fried food.
No more fried foods.
No French fries.
No French fries. Once a month. Once a month.
Salad.
Carrot sticks.
French fries once a month. Fried chicken, never. Now, you can't even cook with oil. Water boils at 212. Oil boils at 370. 212, 370.
Salt, these oils like avocados say it's got a flash point of 500. Don't believe it.
No,
No,
no.
it's not,
I
it's
said
hot.
regular oil boils at 370. Right.
Yeah.
The so-called seed oils. Okay? So how do we get around that? 5 parts water to 2 parts oil. 5 parts water to 2 parts oil. So what does that mean? If you're cooking for yourself and your honey, you're gonna put 5 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of oil. So you bring the water to a boil, then add the oil, and then do the stir fry like they do in the Chinese restaurant. Okay, so they got the big wok, they put 8 ounces of water, they bring that to a boil, then they get the squeeze bottle, and they put the oil around the rim, and as the oil drips, then they drop the food in, 3 minutes later, it's out. So the oil is never heated to the point where it changes the molecular structure that's going to mess with your production of white blood cells. Okay? Is that a biohack? I think that's a biohack. All right?
It's brilliant.
Thank you. The Chinese are, yes. Okay, so,
Chinese food is not that healthy.
okay, Chinese food in America is not Chinese food.
Exactly.
I've been to China twice, and I went to the Chinese cafeteria, and I did not recognize anything except for the rice. I was like, this is the cafeteria? No, they had, never mind. Okay, that's another story. So yeah, Chinese food in America is not Chinese. Okay. So wherever the lymph node cells are triggered by cancer cells, then you have melanoma. Okay? Now, think back to scientific literature, European scientific literature. Was there skin cancer in the 1800s? Was there skin cancer in the 1900s? No. When did skin cancer start? Okay, so short story, 1840, penetration into the continent of Africa was limited to the first 100 miles. So first 100 miles. If they went past that, they got sick and they died. So why did they die? Why did they die? Nobody knows. Okay. So you've heard of quinine. So quinine was discovered, and once they discovered quinine, they could treat the illness that Europeans got from being inside the continent of Africa. Malaria. Thank you. So now Europeans can then be like little termites and steal and exploit everything inside Africa. And then 40 years later was the scramble for Africa, the Berlin Conference, where they carved up Africa and they named the countries. The Africans did not name their own countries. Okay? So Cameroon in Portuguese is shrimp.
Shrimp?
Shrimp. So they named a country shrimp because what did they get in Cameroon? Shrimp. And they named Nigeria, which means what? What does Nigeria mean? Nobody took Latin in high school? Okay, moving right along. Skin cancer started when Americans started eating heated oils.
Whoa.
So you have heard of fry bread? No? You haven't heard of fry bread? Okay, I'm glad you have not. So, the main staple of Native Americans was corn, beans, and squash. Corn, beans, and squash. That was their food. And when the Europeans came into Native American territory, guess what they did? You can't eat any more corn. And we're gonna cut up your squash fields. And we're gonna give you fried dough. I'm talking about Native Americans. They gave them fry bread. So they took their corn and their squash away, and they gave them fried bread. So they deliberately killed the spirit of the Native Americans with fried bread.
Wow.
And this is in the 1880s. Wow. 1880s. Now, European immigrants come in 1905, 1910, and they're like, fried dough. Sounds good to me. So dumplings and
Pizza.
matzo balls and
Pizza.
some form of pizza. Okay, wasn't fried,
Yeah.
Matzo
but
ball is not fried.
Matzo ball is
It's not fried, sweetheart.
right, matzo
It's
ball's
on the
not
water.
fried.
No.
But they brought in their European traditions of bread, or rather dough, I should say dough. But then somehow, what is fried balls besides donut? What do they call
Falafel.
No,
them? Falafel is fried, but that's not wheat.
Better.
Pretzels.
Oh my
Kasher, אני kasher.
Pretzels are. I was so surprised to find out pretzels were fried. I thought they were baked.
Bagels.
No pretzels. Pretzels are fried.
Bagels.
Bagels are fried though. Is that correct?
Yes,
Bagels are fried.
Yeah.
Bagels
No,
are fried.
bagels baked. Bagel
Baked.
ma.
Bagels are fried.
Bagels, donuts.
What are you talking about?
Funnel cake.
Okay.
My grandma used to make the pita bread in the oven in the backyard.
Your grandma.
Yes. And we
I
all
love your grandma.
making that until today.
Because if you didn't have a grandma, I wouldn't know you. Okay, next slide.
Don't eat it or it moves.
Okay, so when you get a swollen lymph gland,
Oiga, לא שגוי.
when you get a swollen lymph gland, what does that mean?
You fucked up.
Sore throat,
I said, what does it mean?
a swollen lymph
Call
gland.
it.
Inflammation.
It means you're sick.
Right.
See? Yes.
It means your immune system is not protecting you. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, how do we reverse the swollen lymph glands?
Massage.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice, it was good.
It's like tapping.
Ah.
It is that. It's accurate. So, how long did it take?
1 minute. Exactly.
8, 8, 8, 8, 8. 5 eighths is 40. 40 and 40 is 80. That's a minute and 20 seconds. Okay, now, if you did that 3 times, once a day, 3 times once a day, You have a question? No. You're just stretching your armpit? Yeah. And then what do they tell you to do? Oh, bad odor. Artificial aluminum chlorhydrate. Chlor? You mean like chlors and chlorine? Like chlorine poison? Aluminum chloride in my armpit, in my lymphatic system, because you don't like my odor? Well, if you stop eating fried foods and fried animal fat, guess what would happen? You wouldn't stink. If half of your diet was fruits and fresh vegetables, and the other half of your diet was corn, beans, and squash, you wouldn't smell. And you wouldn't need deodorant. So, pat slapping, armpit to finger, rubbing the belly. Now, we already said there's a center and then there's sides. So if you did this, or, so you can either slap it or rub it 20 times. Either one. I want to see you slap your belly. Uncross your legs. Why should she uncross her legs? Because the lymphatic system in the groin.
That's right.
Right? So the minute she does that, what is she doing to her lymphatic system?
Cut off circulation.
Okay. Okay, are you wearing pants?
Yes.
Open your legs. Are you wearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Open your legs. Open your legs. Open your, oh, see? That's right. That's perfect. So, 20 seconds. 20 seconds once a day. That's all it takes. We're not talking hours and hours. 20 seconds once a day of the groin slap will open up the lymphatic system into your legs. That's all? How come it's so light? Because the energy keeps going, because we said the circulatory system drives the lymphatic system. Whoa. Okay, plucking the neck, pat slapping the groin. Next slide.
Hello.
Okay, that's a video which you can click on, it should play. No? All right, so everybody stand up. How'd you get more food? I took your food away from you. How'd you get more? Okay, so feet directly underneath your hips. Okay, lift your heels, lift your toes. Lift your heels, lift your toes. Lift your heels, lift your toes. Okay, now we're going to do the pelvic thrust. You need to come forward because I don't want you to slap him.
Okay.
No, come forward. There you go. There you go. All right, everybody got room? Okay, now, when you take your arms back, you're gonna arch your back. Okay, don't stop, keep going.
I did the same thing.
Yes, you are tight. Okay, now, chin down, chin up. So chin down, chin up. Okay, now, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum the earth, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum the sky, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Drum side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now shake it to the side. Shake them up, Show me what you're working with. Shake them up. Move your cheek. Shake them up. Show me what you're working with. Lean back. Now drum your lungs side to side. Cheek long side to side. Now drum your lungs side to side. Cheek long side to side. Now lean forward. Now drum your kidneys side to side. Cheek long side to side. Now drum your kidneys side to side. Cheek long side to side. Side stomp. Cheek long side to side. Stomp side to side. Cheek long side to side. Pump side to side. Cheek long side to side. Now sacral pump side to side. Cheek long side to side. Right hand jing. Left hand chi. Right hand shin. Left hand chi. Right hand jing. Left hand chi. Right hand shin. Left hand chi. Jing. Chi. Shin. Chi. Jing. Chi. Shin. I'm wrong. Jing. Chi. Shin. Chi. Heart. Lung. Liver. Spleen. Right kidney. Left kidney. Jing. Chi. Heart. Lung. Liver. Spleen. Right kidney. Left kidney. Jing. Chi. Heart. Lung. Liver. Spleen. Come on, Ridley. Right kidney. Left kidney. Jing. Chi. Heart. Lung. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, liver, liver, spleen, liver, right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney, jing, cheese. Come on, fifth grade. Lung, heart, lung, liver, spleen, liver, liver, spleen, liver, right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney, ching ching, ching ching, heart, lung, liver, spleen, liver, liver, spleen, liver, right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney, ching ching, ching ching, heart, lung, liver, spleen. Right kidney, left kidney, ching ching. Heart, lung, liver, spleen. Right kidney, left kidney, ching ching. Heart, lung, liver, spleen. Right kidney, left kidney, ching ching. Heart, lung, liver, spleen. Kidney, chi, kidney, jing. Heart, lung, liver, spleen. Kidney, chi, kidney, jing. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, 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 kidney, chi, kidney, jing. Blue dragon, she gone. Okay. Do you want me to stop now and open for Q&A, or do you want me to summarize it and then open Q&A? Summarize it. Okay. So this was a test. The fact that none of you got it right means that the immune system in your brain is not working. Which means you need to sign up for the course to integrate left and right parts of your brain. Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that fair? Because if you can't integrate left and if you're like, then something's wrong. Am I right?
Yes.
All I can think of is Woody Harrelson. White man can't jump.
Okay.
I'm
But
bored.
yeah. But if you're born and raised in America, it doesn't matter what color you are. You're
I can't jump.
okay. So the brain controls the immune system, which controls the lymphatic system, which goes to your internal organs. So if there's a problem with your lymphatic system, that means the circulatory system not working. Circulatory system means not blood flow to the brain. If the blood is not flowing to the brain, guess what? No oxygen, no nutrients. Nerves get irritated. Nerves get starved, organs break down, and then heart disease, cancer. Whoa. So lymphatic system is the self-defense. It is the self-defense of the system. So how can we fix that? Okay, I know none of you are going to drive to Boca and do Qigong with me in the morning. I already know that. So what I'm asking you to do is come to the Biohack Lab and take the lymphatic drainage suit, which is 50 minutes once every 2 weeks. Okay? Because you are not going to take care of yourselves. Now, anyone here who's going to take care of themselves, raise their hands. Bobby! Did I see Ridley raise his hand? No, he didn't. Okay, we got Bobby. What's your name? Keith. What's your name? Mark. Bobby, Keith, and Mark, and Deborah. I believe that they will come and find a way. Ridley, you want to change your mind?
Or coming.
About coming? Oh, okay, I thought so. All right, so now we got 6 people that are going to actually do for self, and we call that self-care. But some of you are too far gone. Are you going to come? Where do you live?
We traveled from Savannah to get here, that's why we're
Yeah,
late.
so we want to
Yeah.
be here.
We're glad we didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. So I guess I'm going to get an invitation to Savannah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pink house.
Okay.
Pink house.
So,
Downtown.
this is my partner in power. And after this is over, she will take some of you back and she will show you the lymphatic drainage suit.
Yes,
Okay?
I want to be first.
So, okay. So, I love the science. The science is sometimes over people's heads, but I wanted you to know the why before the how. And if you do the plucking and you do the patting, that's going to be a part of the head of the game. And if you learn the Qigong, you'll eventually get to the most important one for the lymphatic system. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna pass the mic around if anybody has questions.
So it's time for Q&A.
I had a question, I can't think.
All right. Is the suit gonna raise my blood pressure?
No,
What is
it
it?
will not raise your blood pressure.
So they don't monitor your blood pressure? Why-
We can do it before and after, but it will not raise your blood pressure. Okay, what does that say? Just read it to me.
Thoracic aneurysm,
Okay,
abdominal aneurysm.
okay, all right,
I can't have high blood pressure, or I could blow a gasket.
okay. This will not raise your blood pressure.
Right.
Because what is the only thing that raises your blood pressure?
Stress.
Your diaphragm. So what makes your diaphragm thoracic breathing? So if you're not under stress, then it will not raise your blood pressure.
Makes sense.
Does this also increase your blood oxygen? This treatment?
Yes, it will
I have
increase
low
your
blood
blood.
oxygen since COVID.
Okay. All right. So then you're a special case. Make an appointment to see me, and I'll do a whole workup on you before we do any therapy. Okay. All right.
And I have to ask,
Uh-huh.
what's your age?
My age, I'm 75.
Oh.
I'm 75.
Stop it! Please.
Okay.
You go, sorry about it.
Can I
Okay.
say something?
Yes,
Oh,
you
the
may.
microphone.
I started doing Qigong probably 10, 11 years ago. We did it with Dr.
You did a
Love.
workshop with me, a weekend workshop.
And, I didn't get it. All I knew, I was tired after that. I was like weird tired.
Cause you're a gym rat.
Well, I had to discover what I was doing actually to my body with internal organ exercises. So now I've been doing Qigong. I stopped doing it, I just did it a few times with Dr. Love, and that was it. As of March of this year, February, I got into like a little skiing accident, and I was talking to Dr. Love. He says, "Yeah, you're kind of messed up." He goes, "Start doing Qigong, and it'll change your life. It'll save your life." So, in March, I started driving up from Fort Lauderdale to Delray Beach, which was really hard, and it wasn't working as far as my schedule. Then he started doing Zoom classes, and I've been doing Qigong since March. And it has changed.
Oh, happy for
Every
you.
day.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else have a question?
Maybe about a century from behind.
Woo! I'm so glad we made it. Okay, first I just wanted to say about the spleen. What came to my understanding is that a lot of times the organs that people say, oh, you can live without that. It's not like the heart or the lungs, you can live without that. I'm understanding more of how that affects things. So thank you for explaining just a portion of that. I am a birth worker. I actually go by Dr. Doula. And so when you started talking about the
Breast tissue.
stuff, I got excited. As far as the lymphatic exercises and practices you shared, are those things that can also be done or benefit pregnant women? I know it benefits us, but I mean, is there anything as far as pregnancy or birth where doing that can be something I incorporate with my clients?
Absolutely. I will teach you specialized exercises for the lymphatic and the breast, how to stimulate breast milk. Absolutely.
Beautiful. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. You're amazing, by the way. Just
Thank you.
thank you.
Well, the reason why we're here is because of me.
Because of him.
Because I seen you on the internet, so I had to come and to meet you personally.
2 days ago.
I see you online. So there's a lot that I could say, but just thank you for the information that was shared. It was thoroughly blessed, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
He resonated with you. I have to say that. He resonated with you so much. And I can feel him, like how intense this is for him. You're like, it's like with the work that he does, he didn't say anything about what he did or whatever. He teaches, does all this stuff, and whatever. He does all this stuff, but since he didn't mention it, I won't. But I think it blessed him to see you and to see what you're doing. So much that he's like, we'll travel 7 hours to get here. And we're in the process of moving, so we were just staying with a friend in Savannah. We were coming from Alabama. 2 years ago we were in Chicago. So it's like, we were just like, where are we gonna move next? Well, he's gonna be down there, let's go see him. So we're just like on the road. And he saw you, and he said, we can go, let's just go.
That's right.
So we're so grateful. We've never even been here.
You guys are the highlight story of tonight.
You got a card or something?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Or something, yes.
I was just gonna say, in addition to the Qigong, which I know is amazing, wouldn't you say that also sweating, sauna, acupuncture, sweating especially, which deodorant or antiperspirant blocks us from doing, is also very important for the lymphatic system and releasing toxins.
I would absolutely say that, and I only had an hour. I could talk for 8 hours without a pee break.
We're gonna have
It
to
makes so much sense though.
Now, when human beings are using perfume daily, night and day, on the chest, is that can cause problem to the lymphatic system and can cause pain, can cause like blocked or something. Perfume that make from chemical, not necessary.
Okay, you're talking about synthetic perfume.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, originally, perfume was to be put on the skin, and the heat of the body would heat it up and push out an odor. Okay? Now, if we take that idea from ancient Egypt and move it into cold Europe, they wouldn't put it on the skin, they'd put it on their clothing. And they would soak the aromatic oils in alcohol, because it wasn't meant to be put on the skin. It was meant to be put on the clothing. And then in the 20th century, they started making it differently, and they made it so it would go right here. Right where.
So that can create block and locks and pain after many years that you do that. Because I know people, they always say, oh my God, I have a pain here, I have pain now. In Kundalini Yoga, they say, don't ever use those perfume on your body, put it on the clothes. That's absorbed inside from your cells, inside your lymphatic system, and lock them, and then it creates pains. But nobody want to listen.
Nobody wants to listen.
It's that's very sad.
Nobody wants to listen.
And thank you, especially for those that doesn't certify DA, like me, I'm not, but I know some information. But then come a person like you, oh doctor, oh wow, okay, I gotta listen. Oh, my friend told me that. They said, you should have to listen to your friend, even if he's not certified. That's the same point on earth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, to add on, to take that to another layer, you all heard of feminine deodorant spray? So, my daughter told me yesterday they have a new thing called body spray.
Yep.
And body roll-on. So you could use it anywhere. And I'm like, what in heaven's name is the purpose of that? Because that's another chemical that goes into your lymphatic system and shuts down your immune system. And my daughter looked at me and she's like, well, Dad, I guess that's the reason why.
That's the reason why.
That's the reason why they created it. Because they want to shut down the immune system. So then the question came up, what can we do? Now, you have all heard of waist beads?
Yes.
Waist beads?
Waist beads.
Yes.
Waist beads.
Okay, I know you know. You don't know what waist
No.
beads are. You don't know what waist beads are. You know what waist beads are? Okay.
Exactly.
In Yemen, there is a tree that gives off a resin called myrrh.
Oh.
And they fit you when you're 18, 21, 23 years old. They fit you with 3 rows of myrrh beads around your waist. Now, myrrh is one of the things that they gave the baby Jesus. Why did they do that? It was for teething pain. So myrrh was specific for teething pain. It also happens, it's a natural antibiotic, and it's an aromatic.
What is working?
I just said it's the resin of a tree that grows in Yemen. Okay? Now, if you were fitted with myrrh beads around your waist, under your clothing, your body heat would slightly warm the myrrh, and the antibacterial would go down, flow naturally into your lady parts. And those people in that part of the world shaved those lady parts. They were not hairy.
Myrrh. How do you spell myrrh?
M-Y-R-R-H. Now, why did they wear waist beads originally? Because when you started to gain weight, they would hurt. And then that would be a reminder, stop eating! Don't get fat! And then myrrh became a commodity, and then people like, well, I don't want to spend the money on the myrrh, so I'm just gonna get glass beads instead. Okay, but if you live in a hot part of the world and you're Arabic or Islamic or whatever, you would want the myrrh beads because the heat then have that drip down, and then you wouldn't need those body sprays or feminine deodorant sprays. That's a biohack. Write that down. Myrrh beads, write that down. Okay, we got time for 2 more questions.
So we don't have any for the Zoom. So
No questions from the Zoom? Okay. Is Ronnie on?
I just need to ask because I'm literally on your website. I'm like, okay, where's whatever.
No, you gotta get to me directly.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I'm trying to be in order here, but it's like, okay.
My
so how
website
do
has
you-
been hacked.
Okay.
My Facebook has been hacked. So I'm very cautious
Yeah.
about putting my proprietary information. So if you want the information, you gotta get to me.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. How
You
you
gotta
know,
get
when
to
we
me.
leave here, like how do we stay in touch with Dr. Love?
I
That's what I wanted to know.
will give you all my private,
Perfect.
personal
Thank you so much.
information.
And you
And
can-
just so
you can
everybody
follow
knows,
him.
Take a picture from here.
He did.
we just put the information on the screen.
Oh, yes, right there.
And everything is recorded. It's gonna be on our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to watch the presentation again. And then, like Dr. Love said, if somebody privately wants the slides, be open to sharing your knowledge. So.
But some of you actually need to make a private appointment to see me.
I can attest to that. I see him like every week. He's amazing, absolutely freaking amazing. He's helped me so much. I had COVID 3 years ago and everything was, well, really messed up. And he made it so it was working fine. But then I got COVID again, and I went back, and so we're doing it again. So he's amazing.
And he's here every Fridays
He's
as
here
well.
every
For those of
Friday.
you
That's
that
my
are in Fort Lauderdale or nearer for you, then
Yeah.
Delray Beach.
This is where I met
sometimes.
him.
Yes,
You.
that's right.
I was a patient for 20 years, forget about that. Whatever happened, go Dr. Love, tick, 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 that, alone.
Yeah.
Everything good.
And it's
20 years.
fast. It's fast.
Really?
His-
Yeah, 20 years.
The work he does cuts to the chase and gets the job done fast.
He froze my neck completely.
He does not only acupuncture, a lot of amazing magical with his hands.
Yes, he does
with
that.
different
Yes.
equipment. Unbelievable. I don't go to any doctor, I don't take any chemical, I don't let the things come to my body. But I'm really listening to him. For me, this is an encyclopedia walking on 2 feet.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, when I have a
Absolutely.
session, I always have my phone on record. I record everything he says because it's so brilliant. And then I go and study it. I have a log, lots of visits.
Thank
We
you
need
for
to
sharing.
transcribe those and make little.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna make sure. Yes. You're-
Make
Soup for the soul.
So stay tuned.
Sharing the soup for the soul.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Tell me your name again?
Well, my moniker is Coach Gene, but it's Eugene basis.
You're Coach Gene. I've seen you. I've seen you.
But I had a
Oh,
question.
yeah.
Do I eat meat? I'm so glad you asked me that question.
Okay.
Can we get Rania in the room?
I think she's good night.
Okay. So
I had a question.
you got a question. Before I answer the meat question, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I just wanted to know, do you further your knowledge by teaching interested individuals regarding your expertise?
I'm so glad you asked me that question. I have a 3-year training program. The first year is medical Qigong. The second year is Juventology. And in that second year, you're gonna learn all the acupuncture meridians, the points, the muscles, the bones, the joints, and you're gonna learn 5 different methods of moving energy through the meridians without acupuncture. And you're not gonna need a license to do any of it. And then in the third year, we call ChiMD, which is a doctor of energy medicine. And then you're gonna learn 4 more methods of moving energy, and you'll be able to emit chi, healing, and do it long distance. So that's the 3-year training program.
Thank you for sharing.
Guess who's signing up?
Okay, question.
I heard off this subject a little bit of Qigong, but I heard you speak one time to a small group about dreams, and you said, where do you go?
When you
When
go to
you-
sleep.
Yes. And I didn't actually get to hear the answer, and I would love to hear it
Oh,
now.
I'm so glad you asked me that because that's so important. Okay, so be still and know that I am. So how do you get to God? Is when you go to sleep. Now, your brain spins 12 cycles per second. Then when you go into alpha, which is called the dream state, you're at 9 to 12. And then when you're in theta, you're in 5 to 9. And then when you're in delta, you're 1 to 5. Now, if you get below 3 cycles per second, you merge with God. So God is nature. So, silly question. Whose timeline do we operate on? Okay, how long have humanoids been on the planet? How many million years?
Well, it's depending on which. Yeah.
So let's say 4 million. Just
Okay.
so there's nobody's going to argue
Yeah.
4 million. Okay, how long has the planet been in existence? 50 million. So between 50 million and 4 million, where was God? God is nature. Humans didn't invent God. Okay, so there was multiple kinds of monkeys, and some monkeys died out and some monkeys thrived. And then there was apes, and some apes died out and some apes thrived. And we're part of the ape that evolved and didn't die out. But we killed all the other apes. We killed them. So we are murdering apes. We're murdering apes that celebrate by dancing.
The room is real quiet.
That's who we are.
Maybe there's some bad apes.
Okay. So the concept of survival does not accept good or bad or right or wrong.
Good teach,
Right.
good teach.
It's just like, I gotta survive. Okay? For example, you got a flock of sheep, I got a flock of sheep. We both show up at the watering hole at the exact same time. And I'm like, look, bro, pull your sheep back. I got here first. And you're like, no, bro, I got here same time. So why don't you let some of your sheep and then some of my sheep? And I'm like, no, you're not getting none of your sheep. And now I kill you. 2 weeks later, your cousin comes. And your cousin like, did you kill my boy? And then he kills me. And then my uncle, 2 weeks later, is like, did you kill my cousin?
Never ends.
So it never ends. So there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no good, there is no bad. What we consider good and evil is only within us. We cannot ascribe good or evil to another person. We can only do it within ourselves. Okay? So, for example, a mother has 4 children. One of the kid is super smart, the other kid is super slow. One kid feels neglected, so he's gonna steal stuff from mom and do stupid stuff to get attention. And then the 4th kid is gonna be like, I'm gonna be goody 2-shoes. I'm gonna do everything mommy says. So now mom's got 4 different children with different agendas and different expressions. Now, is any of her children bad? No, they're her kids. Right? But if they do something bad to a neighbor, it reflects on her. So now, before the neighbor punishes her kid, she's got to punish her kid. okay? And that's the way it worked. But now we've grown to the point where we use the police to punish. We use the courts to punish. We hire mercs and private detectives to punish instead of being our authentic selves. So if you want to get out of the matrix, you gotta move out of the matrix, which is what we're trying to do. And me too. So we're gonna chat about that. Yes.
Actually, I think somewhere along the line you got answered. I can't think of anything.
So he needs memory pills.
Gotta sleep on the left side.
Actually, he eats meat.
I just wanted to ask.
Oh, okay, meat. Yes, we were talking
That's
about
what
meat.
it is, yeah.
All right, now, is there anything inherently wrong with eating meat? No, there's nothing wrong with eating meat. That's why I wanted Rania to hear this, okay? Now, once we turn animal husbandry into factory farming,
Right.
and now we're raising cows in a container and we're feeding them cheap stuff to make them fat. So when we kill them, we can weigh them and charge the customer based upon the weight. That's what's wrong with meat. Now, does anybody remember the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? The two guys who wrote that movie worked in a slaughterhouse, which is where they got the idea from. So they run the cows through a chute. There's a guy standing with a sledgehammer, and when the cow goes through the chute, they crack the cow and fracture the skull. And then they have a chain that grabs the hind leg, jerks it up in the air, and then the guy with the chainsaw cuts the cow's head off.
That's traumatic.
That's very traumatic to witness, let alone
Eat, and they produce poison to the blood at that
and
moment.
they produce poison to the blood. Thank you. So then you're gonna eat that, and then they're gonna age it. They're gonna age it. So the bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites, then, and you all know what rigor mortis is. The body gets stiff.
Right, that's right.
But when you buy it, it's not stiff. So how do they make it soft and looking red and juicy? Chemicals! And they dip it in bleach to kill the bacteria, virus, parasite. Then they inject it with something that softens it up, and then they spray it with the dot. Yeah, and that's what you want to eat. Who asked me about that? Who wants to eat meat?
Nobody asked.
Okay.
No, but in the old time,
But-
in the old time, my grandpa, for example, he was a butcher, holy butcher.
Holy
Now,
butcher.
before he butchered or before he cut the throat of a chicken or
They
a cow,
prayed.
or he was meditating.
He was
praying
meditating and
half an hour first of all,
Mhm.
any animal or any chicken until they sleep. And then he had a knife so sharp that you just put your finger and cut you right away.
Right.
In other words, when he did that, this animal or chicken did not have a chance to produce any poison.
That is correct.
And then after that, they take the meat, they put it 6 hours in the salt. If in case there is a little bit of poison there, clean it and then wash it. And then again, clean it with salt and then wash it 3 times. That's called kosher meat.
That's kosher, and then
Meat.
there's halal.
Halal.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
it.
issue
But
for
nobody
us
had the time to do 1,000 cow every day to cut
Now,
it. They shoot them.
today, the rabbi goes to the factory and he goes, and now he did a
Different.
kosher on the whole meat
Now it's
slaughterhouse
in our backyard.
instead of slaughtering it personally.
Yeah.
So the whole thing has been corrupted.
And
Okay.
you know, along with what you were saying, it reminded me of my grandmother and how, you know, they lived on a farm. And so the whole notion, like, we grew up eating meat, but it wasn't even, like, vegetables were the biggest part of our meal. And then you had a piece of meat, or maybe it was flavored with meat. And then he and I travel internationally a lot, and we go to South Africa quite frequently. and they slaughter there, like many different places. But one of the things that happens is that if they have a goat or something like that, they have a whole thing, they're like, take him to the land, they tie him to the tree. They want that, they said, we don't want him to feel pain. We don't want him, it's like, it's literally, I've seen elders be like, this one is feeling pain, and be troubled by it, you know. And so I'm just saying that the whole thought of what you're saying about not introducing the toxins and things like that, there's still those who do practice, you know, they're slaughtering their own animals, their own whatever, but it is never intense. It is always with as much little pain as possible.
Yeah.
You know, we do this to have our meat, and I appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah. In Israel, is 75% they do that.
Exactly.
Like with in the backyard with a
Yes,
special
exactly.
butcher, they come in and they maybe take each one of them.
Okay,
Yes.
so to get back to the question,
Yes, sir.
is meat okay to eat? And the answer is, if you can kill it, you can eat it. If you can't kill it, you can't eat it.
But it's also, if he can kill it, he needs some meditation
I
for
have
the
not
animal.
eaten meat since 1974. And I can lift weights and outrun most people 20 years younger than me.
What is your diet? What do you eat?
So, so yesterday I had brown rice noodles with broccoli and coconut flakes. The day before,
Rice and beans.
Eggs? No eggs?
Vegetables,
Eggs?
fruit.
He
Fish?
does not eat it.
no lacto, no ovo, no pesco, no, none of that. Okay,
One more. How many times a day do you eat?
twice a day.
Can you make a song out of that?
I can. So repeat after me. Grains and beans.
Grains and beans.
Roots and greens.
Roots and greens.
Fruits and seeds.
Fruits and seeds.
And salad greens.
And salad greens.
This is the food that you must eat
This is the food that you must eat
if you want to be the best on your feet.
if you want to be the best on your feet.
Grains and beans.
Grains and beans.
Roots and greens.
Fruits and greens.
Fruits and seeds.
Fruits and seeds.
And salad greens.
And salad greens.
This is the food that you must eat
This is the food that you must eat
if you want to be the best on your feet.
if you want to be the best on your feet.
Milk, sugar, and wheat.
Milk, sugar, and wheat.
Fat, salt, and meat.
Fat, salt, and meat.
This is the food you don't want to eat
This is the food you don't want to eat
because it makes you slow on your feet.
and it makes you slow on your feet.
A pound of grains and beans.
A pound of greens and beans.
A pound of roots and greens.
A pound of roots and greens.
A pound of salad greens.
A pound of salad greens.
And half a pound of mushrooms, please.
And half a pound of mushrooms, please.
This is the food that you must chew
This is the food that you must choose
if you want to have a better poo.
if you want to have a better food.
Grains and beans.
Grains and beans.
Roots and greens.
Roots and greens.
Fruits and seeds.
Fruits and seeds.
And salad greens.
And salad greens.
This is the food that you must eat
This is the food that you must eat
if you want to be the best on your feet.
if you want to be the best on your feet.
I could go on, but
We'll have a part two for sure.
Yes.
That's not even a question. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you everybody that's been on Zoom. It's always a pleasure to have you, Dr. Love, and definitely we need a part two. So you guys will know well in advance, my Spanish people. There is not gonna be a BHL Present next month in November because we're gonna be at a conference that's happening in West Palm Beach, which is a pretty interesting conference. If you guys are interested, it's called Eudaimonia. It's a 3-day conference where there's gonna be all kinds of topics and amazing different types of, you know, experts in the field. Huberman is gonna be there, Dave Asprey from the biohacking world, and so many more. And we're gonna have an experience booth, so we'd love to see you come by. There were great gracious enough to give us a discount code for our audience. So that's the discount code here that takes $150 off the ticket price for the 3 days. But I empower you to have a look. It's eudaimonia.net. That's what we'll be in November, and we'll start again in December. We look forward to having you, and stay tuned on our newsletter. We have a newsletter and a community. We would love for you to join us. And that's where you can ask some more questions. We'll invite into a community chat, Ask Dr. Love, official now, where you'll be able to join that community and ask different questions to Dr. Love as well. That community chat has different experts and doctors from different fields where you can ask different questions without having to go directly for a consult, but you can start the conversation there. Thank you, everybody, and I'm happy to show you around. Thank you again for